Alright guys, so this is Matt Beck from Gratitude Education and FreeSalonEducation.com. We're using our Oscar clipper today. We're using a 000 blade and our YS Bar comb. We're just really working through, we're going to go through here and just work a line in, slightly beveling the comb just like we would do a scissor over comb, and we're going to work our way up the head. Now I'm going to work real tight right at the temple area. If you can see the angle, fine if you want. Why don't you try to work your way this way so you can see the angle of the comb. Real close to the scalp. So this part of my comb is real close, and then it works its way out at about, a nice angle. I don't know like I'm going to know that degree, but working our way through here. So now you can see it's a nice tight clean look into a little bit more depth throughout the haircut as it works its way up. Now I'm going to follow that line behind the ear so you can kind of move his ear out of the way and just follow it back with the comb. And now we're going to go through, we're going to get this done, and then we'll show you the rest. So now what I'm going to do is work my way out. So this is basically the way you see this comb. I want to start it nice and clean and tight, and then build out the depth as we work our way to the crown of the head. So you'll see my comb pulling away in the haircut. That was the no look. Clipper over comb. Ryan's like, I really appreciate that, thank you. Alright, so now that we've got that side nice and clean, now we're going to work the temple area here. This is called a square neckline. So as I work my way through here, Ryan likes his hair squared off. So we're going to just kind of draw this line down and etch it in. A nice clean line there. Then I can work my way up with the trimmer and get all those little hairs off there, off of his neck, so it gets it nice and tight. Work our way across the back. I like the way that this neckline looks on Ryan because he's going to have like a more rounded shape on top, and I like the square feel on the bottom. As long as it's got a nice fade to it, I like it. Okay, so a couple different things that we're gonna go over with the top of Ryan's hair. A lot of people are wearing a little bit more of a disconnected, back to this haircut. So what I'm gonna do is use no guide here, but just clean up the top. So we'll bring it up here, cut just slightly, a slight angle, because I want the disconnection, but I don't want it to be, I want it to be definitely longer in the front than in the back. So slight angle there. Working horizontally across the top of his head. I'll leave out some of that hair that I just cut, using a guide right there. Follow that guideline. Cutting across the top of his hair. All right, so now we've worked our way through there. Then I'm gonna go through and just check that line and make sure that, we've cut a nice straight line on the top. So anything I'm gonna cut vertically, I'm gonna go back through, cross-check it horizontally. Yes, really. Just real quick. So you shouldn't really be cutting too much at this point. This is just, to check it. So just dusting the ends, marrying everything together. Now I want to do a couple things. This is a cool little trick. I'm gonna go in here and I can use just the tip of that scissor, work my way around his hairline just to take off all those little hairs in there. Turn so you guys can see. So just because that one blade is moving, it allows me to cut my straight line across. Right here. And this is a good way to cut bangs too. If you have the bangs combed on the forehead, you can just work your way across this way, looking in the mirror instead. So nice little pop. Alright, so now we're going to style the pompadour. So what I want to do is just add a little bit of gel. Gel is a good base for guys, and it's something that, guys put in their hair and they think it's the only product to use. Gel is really a base product, just like a serum for women or, a foam for women. So I like putting the gel in, and that'll give it hold as you dry it or as you set it. So a couple things with men's hair. He could set this back if he's going to wear this as a pompadour and he doesn't want to blow dry it. Maybe he's very anti blow dry, which some guys are. Slick it back like this with the gel and then let it dry like that. Then run your hands through it, break up the gel, then go in and use like a pomade or something like that. Once it has the hold and it's laying down right. What I like to do here is we're going to actually go through and blow dry it. We got our good old freestyle blow dryer. And we're going to work the hair just back. So it's not a complicated thing. You don't want to overcomplicate a blow dry for a guy ever. Just work this hair back, laying down these sides. So using a nice airy kind of vent brush, do a little lift, little pop at the scalp, and then just keep combing it back. Basically with guys' hair, you want to almost comb it the direction it's going to go and give it a lift in that direction as well. So the gel now is giving it hold. Before we would probably go in, just blow dry a guy's hair, then add the product to it. Then it's not going to have an all-day hold when he goes to style it. So. we can teach our guests how to use the airflow to push hair where we want it to go, then they won't have issues with cowlicks, because cowlicks aren't really that big of a deal as long as you push the wind and push the hair in the direction you want it to live and not let it dry naturally. So you can see it's starting to dry, and it's drying with hold, and that's what I like. It already has a texture to it. It has, you know, a nice feel that it's going to stay like this for the whole day. Now, we have our volume here. This is a little damp still, but I'm going to do one more little trick. Thank you, sir. One more little trick here. We're going to take a round brush, real small round brush. I know you're going to think to yourself, I can't get a guy to do this. I think the same thing, but I also feel that if it's just this one section, we can do that. So just taking the hair, over directing it straight down. Let this be back. So over direct it straight down. Turn on our blow dryer. And we'll just work that one section. And a little tip real quick. If you want it to flow this way, I'm gonna round brush it this direction. So just round brush it the opposite direction that you want it to fly back. So I don't want it to just come straight up and over. I think that's gonna look silly on a guy. So I'm gonna go off to his left-hand side with the blow dry. Now changing oil is more complicated than that, so I'm pretty sure they can learn how to just do that one little step. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a product, I like this product, Clean Cut. It's a nice creamy pomade. I'm gonna take about a fingertip full. We'd need a lot more if we didn't have the gel already in there. We're gonna run that in our hands, make sure that it basically turns our hands completely white, so the product's completely submerged in there. Then what I'm gonna do is bring this, look at that, nice volume there. So we're gonna work that through, top there. And you'll start to see how it was round brush forward will start to bend into the rest of the hair. So now you can kind of see as we put this through. Get some volume there, buddy. You start to see how that has a really cool kick to the front, and it doesn't just lay flat or lay straight back on his hair. And that is our quick little Pompadour style on Ryan. Thank you guys for subscribing to us. Please check out freesaloneducation.com and support companies like Freestyle and Millennium that help us out. And hope you enjoyed this little tip.